Hello everyone, this is Angela here, and today I'm going to be talking about the narcissistic personality disorder. And today's topic is, guess who's coming to dinner? The narcissist. Um, so to better explain my family dynamic, my mother was a covert histrionic narcissist, and my father's brother was an overt narcissist with the antisocial personality disorder who was like a ticking time bomb. And it's like when we would get together at meals, there's only two words that could describe it: chaos and fighting. So a lot of times, most of the time, my grandmother, my dad's mom, would make all the holiday meals, and she would have Sunday dinners. So on my dad's side of the family, it was my grandma, my grandpop, my Uncle Joe, the narcissist, his wife Angie, my cousin, the puppet, little Joey. Um, then there was my parents, my mom and dad, and myself, the golden child, and my sister, Jerry. My sister Natalie wasn't born yet at that time. And the way it worked was, first of all, when my uncle used to walk in the door, it was like, sound the trumpet, the narcissist has arrived. It's like he had the attitude like, Your Majesty has arrived. Come to greet me at the door and say hello. If you didn't say hello to the bastard, you'd never hear the end of it. You could probably get backhanded if you didn't say hello to him. Yeah. So my dad's sister, her name was Carol. And my Aunt Carol had a mild form of cerebral palsy. And, she was very functionable, but she had a speech impediment. But she had a very high degree of narcissistic traits. She acted like she should receive special treatment because she's handicapped, and she used that as a crutch to manipulate people. It's just the way it was. And it was always kind of comical around meal times, Sunday meal times, or holiday times at my grandparents' house when I was a child. And so when they would walk in the door, it was almost time to eat, and they would, wait until they would be waiting for the food to be served, and my uncle would sit at the head of the table because he's king, he's God. Where else would the king sit? So then, my mother we would all sit down, and my grandfather would always kind of like walk around the table, and my uncle would tease my grandfather and say, "Are you ready to land yet?" Just like real cocky. "You ready to land yet?" Meaning, are you ready to sit down and eat yet? And it was always this nitpicking and teasing going on. And he used to tease my Aunt Carol to get her riled up and call her Mrs. Cuckoo Bird. I'm telling you, the craziness in this family is it was just goofy, okay? It was just goofy. Trying not to laugh here. But this one particular day, it was kind of comical because I was a real little kid, and I guess maybe about 6, and my cousin little Joey was about 3 or 4, and we all were there at Sunday dinner. And my grandmother made, the typical Italian Sunday meal with pasta and meatballs and sausage and, all that good stuff that we used to eat. And, then my uncle would be teasing my aunt, calling her Mrs. Cuckoo Bird, and she used to get real angry and say, I'm not a cuckoo bird, blah, 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 just fighting like little kids. Like little kids. I'm telling you, because that's what you're dealing with. And my cousin used to laugh about it. Honestly, so did I, because it did look funny. Like, it really looked funny. I'm sorry. So we're sitting there, and this one particular day, there was a real bad incident. For some reason, my grandmother didn't make enough pasta. So there was one dish of pasta left, and my uncle, my cousin, and my aunt were fighting over this dish of spaghetti. And my uncle insisted that my cousin have the spaghetti. And my aunt was fighting, no, I want the spaghetti. And he's like, no, you're going to give him the spaghetti. Instead of just being like, look, you get half, he gets half, or like her, just be adult about it and say, just give it to the child, But not with the narcissist, okay? So what happened was, he got all pissed off, stood up, grabbed the end of the table, a big, heavy, wooden dining room table, flipped that bastard up in the air, the spaghetti and meatballs fly everywhere, and it made a big mess. Now my grandfather's fighting with my uncle, and my aunt's crying like a little kid, and my cousin's upset, and the whole house is disrupted. And my uncle gets up and he says, come on, Angie, let's go. And they walk out the door, leaving all that mess for my grandmother to clean up. Yeah, because that's the type of people they are. They get their kicks. They get off on that. They really get off on that. And, as a result of that, because my uncle, my dad's brother, this is all my dad's side of the family. Now, with my mom, typically what she would do, like my mom didn't care. My mom didn't join in that, because first of all, my uncle was an overt narcissist to the point where if you said something against him, he would slap you. And I'm not kidding. He would jump up and freaking backhand you without a second thought. He was that type of person. So she didn't mess with him. My mother's thing was, as long as her ass was being kissed and she was being served, okay, to the point where she didn't have to do anything, she didn't care. She just got up, sat down on the couch, and just fell asleep. It's like, oh well. So that was her. My dad used to get terribly upset, and he would walk out. Or my dad would stop going and just let my mother take us to his mom's house to have Sunday dinner, and my dad would just come in later after my uncle would leave. And these things sound rather comical, which they are, because they're so ridiculous. Only little kids act like this. But the reality is, when people act like this, and I'm telling you, this happens at baptismals, holy communions, weddings, funerals, you name any type of party, they have to be the center of attention. And what happens is the extended members of the family start cutting you off. They don't want to be amongst your company. Rightfully so. And I was just thinking about, these events. But it was kind of comical seeing spaghetti and meatballs flown all over the place, to where all right, I'm going to stop my video. I think you guys get it. You guys get it. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.